Hey guys, hope everybody is doing well out there. I wanted to speak to you today about probably my most favorite topic, fast twitch muscle fibers. I can never say enough about fast twitch muscle fibers. They are literally for active seniors, they are literally the bridge that can lead us to having the most quality and independence in our later years. We desperately need fast twitch muscle fibers as we get older because we can lose them drastically year after year. And when that happens, life is going to get very difficult for us because it is the fast twitch muscle fibers that are going to allow us in our later years to move safely and soundly. Now, in our early years, fast twitch muscle fibers they allow us to really generate a lot of power to jump high, to run and sprint and leap, to get up and down quickly. There are explosive movements for us in our early years. But as we get older, that explosiveness, that powerful that these fibers can produce, the power they can produce, is not going to be to the same extent. However, in our later years, fast twitch muscle fibers are going to enable us to get up and down out of a chair, up and down off the floor, up and down stairs, driveways, curbs, lifting groceries, lifting luggage, all those activities and more, lifting your grandkids up and down. All those activities and more are going to be dependent on our ability in our later years to recruit fast twitch muscle fibers. So they are mandatory for us in our later years. And as I said earlier, unfortunately, if we're not very, very diligent about exercise and stimulating them now as active seniors, they're gonna fall off a cliff in our later years. We will not be able to recruit them, and that again is going to make life very, very difficult. So the question then becomes, how do we recruit these now as active seniors? What is the best way to start recruiting these fast twitch muscle fibers so we can maintain them, we can hang on to them, possibly even increase them as we get older? There are two really main ways to do that, two methods to do that. Number one, lifting heavy weights will stimulate fast twitch muscle fibers. So you can think of maybe a deadlift with a lot of weight on it and you're picking it up and down off the ground, or a squat on your back, or holding really heavy dumbbells and squatting up and down. That will stimulate fast twitch muscle fibers. However, is that feasible for an active senior? Is that sustainable for an active senior as we get older and older? For most of us, for 99% of us, I would say no, because as we lift heavy weights, the risk for injury is going to increase as we get older. There's going to be so much mechanical wear and tear in our joints and muscles, our soft tissue, as we get older, that I think the risk starts to outweigh the benefit of stimulating fast twitch muscle fibers. So again, I do not think that's feasible. I do not think that's safe or sustainable for an active senior to continue to try to lift heavy weights as we get older. However, there is a second way. There's a second way that is much safer, much more sustainable for an active senior, and that is by increasing the speed of your movement. As you start to move with more and more speed, that will start to stimulate, that will start to cause that recruitment of fast twitch muscle fibers. So speed of movement is what we can start working on as active seniors to again try to maintain or even increase our fast twitch muscle fibers. So what's an example? Let me give you an example of that right here. I'm going to pan down a little bit. A basic exercise, a functional movement pattern, a weight-bearing exercise, which we can all start to work on, and it's going to be very, very safe for us, so it'll be sustainable as we get older and older. A push-up. Now, I know a push-up is not the most, I guess you could say, a sexy exercise, but I cannot stress this enough. These types of movements will have the most impact for you in your later years. A push-up is a fantastic exercise. Multiple joints and muscles working together, coordinated, stability, strength, power, balance, all wrapped up into this one movement of a push-up. And again, we can start to work on ramping up our speed with a push-up, which will start to recruit those fast twitch muscle fibers that we desperately need in our later years. So first of all, you want to be able to perform a push-up soundly with sound mechanics and safely. And that means being able to perform it with full mobility. So from the start, I like to get my hands about shoulder width apart. My back is straight. I'm going to come all the way to the floor so my chest is almost touching the floor and push back up. You can notice my hips are not dropping. I'm not rounding up. I'm keeping nice stability, straight back, full mobility, touch, straighten the arms. Once you can do that, then you can start to incorporate speed of movement. If you cannot do a proper push-up, do not start to increase your speed. That can lead to injury. So please, please make sure you're mechanically sound, full range of motion. Once you can do that, then we can add that element of speed. So again, full mobility and up. And I can start to add more and more speed to my movement of doing a push-up. That is it right there. That type of movement with that incorporating the speed into that type of movement will start to stimulate and recruit fast twitch muscle fibers. Again, it's a type of exercise, a type of movement that we can all do as active seniors and continue to do as we get older and older. It is sustainable. The risk for injury is much, much, much less than trying to deadlift or squat or bench press heavy weights. There it is, guys. Fast twitch muscle fibers. We need them. They are mandatory for us. It can make all the difference in your life in your later years to be able to recruit those fast twitch fibers. Hope that helps. Hope that really helps you guys. If it makes sense, if this really makes sense to you and you want more information, you can email me. I love your emails. Keep those emails coming. I've even created a course. It's called the Core 7 course. And just like I'm demonstrating here, there's going to be exercises. I go into, it's a 30-minute video. I go into great depth about these 7 best exercises that I feel all active seniors should be doing today, having that goal of quality and independence in your later years, possibly even up into that last year of life. It's all going to matter. It's all going to be based upon what we do today as active seniors, and movements such as this, recruiting fast twitch muscle fibers, is the bridge. Again, that is going to be your bridge for having those types of ideals in your later years. So the Core 7 course, I'll leave a link for it below. I'll leave my email again. Any questions, please hit me up. I love them. And again, it's nice talking to you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.